All babies, everywhere, are born with optimal conditions for human connection. They are born physically connected to their mother through the umbilical cord. But emotionally, they're delivered into a symbiotic fluid, if you will, of sharing the same emotional soup as their mother. So this early attachment relationship really is the template for all other relationships in life and the secret sauce for human connection. Hello, I'm MaryGordon, and I'm the founder and president of the Roots of Empathy organization. Our mission is to build more caring, peaceful, and civil societies through the development of empathy in children and adults. We're in our 20th year. We have empathy-based programs in every province of Canada, in all of our First Nations communities, in 5 states in your United States of America, and in 10 countries on 3 continents in multiple languages. It's all the same. We start with a tiny little baby, this size, as a teacher. So what is empathy? Where does it come from? Why does it matter? And what has it got to do with human connection? Our take on empathy is that it is the ability to understand how another person feels and to be able to feel with them. The question, where does empathy come from? We are all predisposed to be empathic, but it is through the attachment relationship of the infant and parent that empathy either flourishes or fades. So it behooves us as a nation to invest in supporting that very early relationship. So why does empathy matter anyway? Well, the absence of empathy really is on the hit list of some of the biggest challenges we face today. The absence of empathy allows for terrorism, allows for racism, allows for violence of all kinds, whether it's domestic violence or child abuse and neglect. The whole concept of genocides, the idea of marginalizing people because we somehow cannot understand that they are just like us, that they share the same feelings, that we are unable to empathize with them. Therefore, their difference makes them less human than us. So the idea of human connection and empathy, empathy is a prerequisite for significant human connection. If we cannot feel the other, we cannot have a deep connection to them. And in this world, we all have a right to belong. It's one thing to belong where you're at home, but it's another thing to really feel like a global citizen and to belong to something bigger than yourself, that we have the capacity to see the other as our own, to find a sense of connection and meaning in places and with groups who don't look like us or sound like us, but are us. It's the Martin Buber, I and thou. So this idea of program, we have empathy-based programs. We work in public schools. We offer a program that brings a tiny baby and the parent into the classroom over the school year with a curriculum and a trained Roots of Empathy instructor who's mentored and certified and supported. And that program is evaluated by a very large body of research, but also is evaluated by every single child who experiences the program, by every classroom teacher who gets it as a gift, and by all of the families who volunteer their time and their loving relationship to allow us to understand what love looks like. Because not every child lands lucky enough that they are born into a secure attachment relationship, and it has nothing to do with socioeconomic status. And this program really works with children at the most honest level, and that is our feelings. So things happen in that program that don't happen in other classes, because empathy is not something that can be taught through instruction. It's something that is caught. It's something that happens in the classroom because of the interaction, the human interaction between the baby and the parent and the children. It's experiential. And the way the teaching happens in Roots of Empathy is entirely experiential questioning. No telling and yelling, just inquiring. So I wonder, Kim, if we could see a very quick clip to let you see the basis of how the program works. Here you see the Roots of Empathy instructor coaching the children to observe the baby's feelings and the baby's perspective. So the baby's perspective is cognition. The baby's feelings, emotion, and we need those two things to have empathy.
What does that sound like? What's the sound?
She's standing, I want this toy.
So she's saying she wants this toy, but the sound she's making. Let's put this out here. Let's see what happens. Okay, now do you think she'll be able to get this? Okay, let's watch her. Now what is she going to do?
Yes.
See if she keeps trying. What happened? Should I pick you up? Do you need help? Okay, let's pick you up. Did she get upset when she tipped over?
No.
No, so is she easily frustrated?
No.
No, she's not. Let's try and put her back. Put her back a little bit closer again. Just to keep Whoops. I think she's ready to do something else. Let's see if she tries again.
Dancing.
Want to try again? What do you think? Do you think she wants to try? What do you think?
He wants to try again.
Do you think she wants to try again? See, look at her body's reaching. Let's try and see what happens. Does anybody remember when she was learning to roll over? What? She kept trying. Oops. Does that hurt? Should we try to make it a little closer?
And that's the relentless baby May, who no matter how many times she failed, still persists. We have a pandemic of frustration with children who are learning in our schools, that they give up because they become so profoundly frustrated. They fail to persist. Little baby May gives examples, and all the baby Mays, the thousands and thousands of baby Mays in classrooms around the world, of really persisting with your goal. So classroom teachers get this program as a gift. They use the examples they see in the program with the children later on because they are real heartfelt experiences. The little boy who gasped and did this when baby May fell down, he doesn't speak English at all. He doesn't need to. All the lessons in that class, he was a newcomer, all the lessons in that class were obvious and heartfelt. So the idea of finding the humanity in baby May, and our humanity is our feelings. The children are very able to read the cues of baby May. They learn the words for baby May's feelings. So the Roots of Empathy instructor asked the children, so was baby May frustrated? And of course, before every Roots of Empathy family visit with the baby, the week before we have a class where we prepare the children that want to ask questions. And the week after there's a reflective visit. So in that reflective visit there was a lot of conversation about who of us is like baby May in our level of persistence, and what do we get frustrated about. So all of the negative emotions that are not routinely discussed in life, and all of our failures, and the pandemic really of loneliness that we have with children in the world, they all come out on the green blanket. And they're legitimate discussions where nobody feels embarrassed or outed, where you really have built a sense of belonging, where everybody understands it's okay to be vulnerable. Once you've found the humanity in baby May, her experiences and everything that happens around the green blanket is flipped to the children's lived experiences. So then they are learning emotional literacy, how to talk about how they feel, how to listen carefully to how others feel, to be conversant with your emotions. We are an emotionally illiterate nation. We are not able to talk about how we feel, but we can talk for miles about what we think. And we really need to have a more equal balance of our personhood if we want to have emotional connection in the world. This idea of our research measuring the reduction of aggression in children. There is a dramatic reduction of aggression, and particularly bullying, because that gets in the way of everybody's learning. But a child who is in rage and hurting others is a child who's in personal pain. No child decides to be objectionable or to hurt other people for no reason. There's always a reason. But without any expensive therapy and without targeted programs, in this universal program of just working on how we are feeling through the lens of a little baby, allows children to find themselves, to find their authentic selves, and to be able to speak with faith and trust that there is a sense in their classroom that they will be understood and not made fun of. It's probably one of the few places that children will confide in one another with things that they worry about, that they're afraid of, or they're ashamed of. No child should ever have to be ashamed of anything. But if you're a bedwetter at 8 years old, you've got profound shame in your life, and you're terrified someone's going to find out because then you're going to be mocked. So in Roots of Empathy, the children completely understand that your friends will help you and not mock you, and they've got your back. So this idea of the research showing reduction in aggression, it also shows huge increase in pro-social behavior. The short-term goals of Roots of Empathy are reducing aggression and increasing social emotional understanding. But the long-term goal is that we will be more responsible citizens and more responsive parents. I guess we really can look at these intergenerational cycles of violence and poor parenting and see that the children of today are the citizens of tomorrow and the parents of tomorrow. And if we are able to help them have emotional connection, human connection, empathy-based connection, we can expect a very different world tomorrow. Thank you.